Hi, everyone. Mark Edward Willows with you here, and welcome once again to the program. I am very excited about this evening's show. I've been doing this show for quite a while, but I have been watching Happy Days myself probably for over 40 years. And I am one of the biggest fans, and I cannot believe it. But I have today, Mrs. C is here herself, Marion Ross. Marion, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be talking to you, my dear Mr. Willow.
And I have to tell you, you have been, I should say, on one of the most iconic television shows, rich in history. I don't think there is no one that has never heard of Happy Days. Tell me, Marion, how does it feel for you to be part of something like that?
Well, it's funny that, of course, I knew because of Ron Howard, I wanted to be Ron Howard's mother. And then all of a sudden, then we've got Henry Winkler being the Fonz. Okay, a whole new wrinkle into our show. So that instead of, and then we've got Tom Bosley, who won the big Tony on Broadway. He's the father. So it was just fun, and the public just loved the show. And we just had so much fun together. We had Jerry Paris was our director, and Gary Marshall created the show. And what a good time we all had together.
And what was it like on the set? Was it a lot of fun? I know I've seen some of the bloopers. You folks look like you were having a blast. Was it that way?
It was kind of a madness. It was kind of fun and children playing. So I was a grown-up, so I kind of took it seriously, but they were mostly playing, and the audience just ate us up. And it was so wonderful having a live audience out there too. So,
and Marion, when you started the program, the first episode, did you ever think that you would have the run that you had?
No, we started the show and we did not have an audience. We were a one-camera show. And then all of a sudden, the climate was changing in television, and it made all the difference in the world to have an audience out there.
And the show today is 40-something years old, but why do you think people today are still adapting? I mean, I meet people every day on the street. Oh, it's 5:30, I'm running for Happy Days. The audience is still there, and different generations. Why do you think it has caught on so?
Well, I guess Happy Days is still running. It's still running somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy to follow because it was an easy time of life. It was easy for all of us. And then when you had the Fonz come and walk off with that show in his pocket, and Ron Howard was such a gentleman, he took it gracefully. They became very close friends, Ron Howard and Henry Winkler.
Wow. Now, Marion, I want to mention something here for the audience to tell a little something about you, because everybody knows you as Mrs. C. But get this, folks. She starred in the acclaimed television series Brooklyn Bridge, for which she was twice nominated for an Emmy, and was a two-time winner for the Best Comedy Actress of the Year by viewers for quality television. Marion also won a Golden Globe nomination for her role as Rosie in the movie Evening Star with Shirley MacLaine. You also played Drew Carey's mother on The Drew Carey Show. You were the feisty matriarch of the Gilmore Girls and the terrible mother-in-law on that 70s show. You also played Sally Field's mother on Brothers and Sisters, Leslie Nielsen's wife in the movie Superhero, and Marion is also the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants' grandma and Mrs. Lopart on Handy Manny. And you recently just did a guest voice on a cartoon series, The Guardians of the Galaxy. Marion, I need to ask you, how do you do all of this?
Well, I'm 92.
And looking fabulous.
So I just kept working all the time. And I always had a press agent, because I was thought, I got to control this career of mine, and run it the way I want to run it.
Some advice out there, because my dad made it to 94. Do you think that that is what gives longevity, keeping busy and doing something that you love?
Oh, absolutely. I think if you can spend your life doing what you love,
Mhm,
then you're a lucky person.
mhm.
And I I've been lucky that way. And I have a wonderful family. I have a lot of family that looks out for me. So they handle things that I've forgotten about or don't pay any attention to, you know.
Mhm.
But I love my house. I call this Happy Days Farm. You
Oh,
might come sometime. I would love to have you come, will you?
oh, I will definitely stop by. I would love, I'll have Mrs. C bake me some of her chocolate chip cookies.
Yes, I will.
Now, let me ask you this also. You're from a little town in Minnesota. How did all of this come about? I know you started acting at a young age. Did you ever think it would lead to where it did today in Hollywood?
No, in fact, I just returned from a trip to Albert Lee, Minnesota,
Mhm.
where they have created a statue
Yes,
of
which we are
me.
going to talk about. And as long
Oh,
as you brought it up,
yeah.
that
And
is unbelievable. When you found out that there's going to be a statue erected of yourself, what was your first thought?
I I don't get too carried away by a lot of these things. First of all, half of them don't happen, you know, and
Right.
then it was I thought the artist whose name is, oh yes, something, forgotten it at this moment. He created this wonderful, I I want to look like that statue.
Yes,
She's very nice
it is
looking.
beautiful. And from what I understand, when he created it, the artist also has you in an outfit that you actually wore on Happy Days, correct?
Yes, my Happy Days dress.
Mhm.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Now,
Mhm.
Marion, also, you have a statue in Minnesota. You have a theater named after you in
Yeah.
Minnesota. You have a street named after you in Minnesota.
Isn't that something?
So the state will be named
I
Marion
think I
Ross.
could, I think I should move back there, don't you? I
Yes,
think so.
yes.
But the
And
trouble is, I have to put up with lots of different kinds of weather. You know, Minnesota, when
oh,
I was a
yes.
kid, I would walk across that ice on that lake to go to junior high. And
Mhm.
the ice would boom under my feet.
And
Boom.
the statue is actually facing the ice, correct? Or facing the
Yes,
pond,
it
I
is
should.
actually looking down onto the park where I would walk
Wow.
across.
Mm.
Yeah. And in the summer, we were in swimming all the time. We were like junior lifeguards, swim out to that big, we had a big layered diving tower that we all, you know, went off of.
Mhm, mhm.
I had a,
How does it feel to be immortalized in bronze for the rest of the days?
I don't know about being immortalized. I don't know, but I'm so comfortable with being a part of Albert Lee, Minnesota, and they treat me so well. They treat me with great affection, and it's a lovely feeling.
Oh, yeah. Now, you were there recently, like you mentioned, for the unveiling. When you saw the statue, what was your reaction? Oh my God, is that me? What was your reaction to see that?
Well, they had shown me early in the morning before anybody was there. They showed me the statue, and I said, "Oh, she's wonderful. Look at how nice she is."
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think she's a little younger than I am. You know, she's but she's really nice. So it's been a comfortable, happy thing. Can you imagine? I don't know if the Fonz likes his statue that's in Milwaukee. He's got a
Mhm.
statue there.
Yes, yes.
If you don't like your statue, then
What
you're
do you
stuck,
do?
aren't you? You're stuck. Yeah.
Yes. But isn't that something, Marion, when you think about it? You brought up your Henry Winkler statue, your statue. The people from your show, look at the tributes people are doing, statues, that tells you something about what Happy Days has meant to the world.
Well, I don't know that Ron has a statue. Ron Howard. I hope he has. Anyway,
If not, he will.
we will, but we had a wonderful time together, you know, and Gary Marshall was brilliant. He created the show, and then he created a softball team. And
Mhm.
they took the Fonz, Henry Winkler, who had never played softball, and they trained him to pitch. Okay, now he's the pitcher, and we're all playing softball, and we would go to major cities and play with guys like you and media guys. Are you a good ball player?
No.
No. Good. We want you to come and play with us. Okay, so we played with media guys all over the country,
Mhm.
and it was a great device for keeping us together as a family.
hmm hmm Now, Marion, I want to just quickly get back again to the statue. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but people that lived in your town in Minnesota took up the money. They donated. They did this statue for you, correct?
Okay, I know. I don't know. They, my town of Albert Lee came up with the money to pay off the artists and to cast this thing in metal. And it's very nice of them. I appreciate that so much.
hmm Now,
I owe them money, right?
I don't think they would take a red cent from you. But anyway, Marion, at your age, you have such a zest for life. Is there anything yet that you still would like to do that you have not accomplished?
That's a good question. Mostly no, excepting every now and then I'll see some actress doing something and I'll say, I could do that. I want to do that.
And you have
We're very, first of all, ambitious. I would, if I saw somebody that was so talented when I was like in school, I would want to die. I want to die because they had so much talent. I,
Mhm.
I didn't like, I didn't like to have to compete so much.
So you are a very ambitious lady, correct?
Yes,
You like
that's
to, you like to go for the gusto.
that's the Irish in me. My mother was from northern Saskatchewan, Scotch Irish,
Mhm.
and ambitious. She said, "You can be anything."
Mhm.
And I
And,
thought,
and
I will, Mama, I will.
Yes. And is that advice you would give for anyone, for someone young today that wants to do what you have done? Is that your advice? Be ambitious, go for it, pursue. Is that what you would say to someone?
I would. If you said you wanted to do that, I would say, well, let's do it then. Go ahead, do it. Give it a try. You can do it. Why not?
Mhm.
Then what you find is you find all of us, we dip down and we lose interest and we dip down, we give up, we come back. And so in a lifetime, if you end up doing mostly what you had planned to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I did have a diary that I made, and I had all these dreams that I wanted to be. I think it helped to come from Minnesota and those long, cold winters, right?
Those good Midwestern roots, right?
Right. Midwest, yeah.
Yes. Now let me ask you, you mentioned the diary and all that. Do you think you've accomplished all your goals in your life?
I really think I have accomplished all of them, and I'm very content. And
Mhm.
I don't want to be uh, anything that other than I am. And I have a lovely family. Isn't that nice? My
Oh,
house, I
great.
call my house Happy Days Farm here.
Yes, the
Yeah.
greatest. And I did my research on you, reading your bio is impeccable. Tell us, even a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. How does that feel?
That is so extraordinary. I,
Mhm.
I I don't really have any great thoughts about that, but I do have a star on the Hollywood Walk of
Yes, you
Fame.
do. Yes, I
Yeah.
have seen it. I have walked over on that
Have
star.
you? Be careful when you step around it. Be careful.
Yes, I went all around,
Okay.
not on it.
Well, I I think because I'm Irish from my mother, and and because I was a middle child,
Mhm.
so in order to get some attention, I had to be
Be,
showing off.
be out
Showing
there
off.
and go. Yeah. And when you started this way back when, what was your family's reaction? What did your mother say? Oh my goodness, look where my daughter is.
Oh
What
no,
was
my mother thought you can be anything. She would
Mhm.
say to me, "You can be anything you want to be."
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that is a trait that she instilled in you. Be anything you want to be, and that is excellent advice. Now, let me ask you, Marion, what is there one thing that you would want to tell your fans that you want them to know about you that I would not think of asking you?
Well, I want my fans to know that I'm really a nice person, and I'm not terribly ambitious. I look like I am, but I want to have a nice life, and I would always keep myself out of trouble. You know, I didn't want to end up in the paper, you know, with being written about. So,
Right, tabloid news and all of that.
and
fun
yet,
stuff.
but by passing up all the scandals, you know, then you miss a lot of inches of press.
Yeah, that's true. Now, let me ask you on Happy Days, do you have any fondest memories or any favorite episode that you've ever done?
We had a good time all the time. I had a very good time with Henry Winkler. Yeah.
So you would say every episode was just a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, we were very close, and I was very close to Ron, but Ron was not as playing around as much as we were, because he wanted at that point to become a director. So he was busy watching how we put it together, because he was learning how to become a director, and then he went on and did all his great movies.
And brilliant director he is today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, when you got
He
the
wanted to know how it was done.
when you got the part as Mrs. C, did you go through the regular audition process? How did you land the role?
What a good question. I don't remember too well, but the part of the mother was very insignificant. My lines were like, "Oh, Howard," you know, "Oh, Richard," you know, just like that. She was just beside not so important. The father was very important. Tom Bosley had won the Tony on Broadway. So as the writers would say to me, "Marion, for the read through, you read all those other characters and read those other things and do those things," so that I would audition for those writers all the time. If they asked me to do something, I really would put out. So pretty soon their heads are snapping around, and they begin writing for me better.
Wow, and look where you landed.
Well, yeah.
Right up front. And I love it when you says, "Oh, Howard." I used to love that line, "Oh, Howard." Brilliant job. And do you think also the success of Happy Days has something to do with the brilliant cast and Gary Marshall, of course, behind it, who was brilliant as well? Do you think that all had something to do with it, with the success?
I'm sorry, I'm missing the point of this.
All the actors that are a part of it, Henry Winkler, you, Donnie Most. Do you think that is what made the show so successful?
And Anson Williams, Donnie Most.
Yes, and Anson Williams.
Henry Winkler. Everybody in it was a hard hitter. Everybody wanted to succeed. You didn't have any dead weight there at all. None.
Well, Marion, you have had a brilliant career. I still see things for you in your future. I'm sure you're going to be doing something. And it was a lot of fun, a pleasure having you on the program. I still cannot believe that Mrs. C is talking to me here on Gabbin. And you are doing great. You are an inspiration to many people, and you have led a wonderful, very successful life in Hollywood. And that is something to be said for itself.
I want you all to follow your dreams. Follow your dreams.